In this one, I'm gonna be making a short rib Wellington.
So, I'm gonna be doing a Wellington, like I said. This is gonna be very shroom heavy. I've got some portobellos. These are my favorite shrooms right here. My Takis, love these. And for my Wellington, I'm gonna be doing beef short rib. Look at that guy, thick. Okay, so I'm gonna do a Wellington with these. So I'm just gonna braise them, blah, blah, blah. Let's just get to the point. So I'm gonna dehydrate these. I'll get to that later, but just some really nice portobello mushrooms. I'll get to these at some point. My Takis at the end. I've got some plum wine. This has a really nice tartness to cut through all that richness we're doing. Let's get started on this braise, okay? So, bringing out the control freak. I get a lot of questions about this, guys. People are always like, what burner do you use? What's that hot plate that you use? This is it. It's called a Breville Polyscience Control Freak. Now, this is a beast of a machine. I would only recommend it if you're doing this like professionally. This is like $1,500 to $1,700 US. So yeah, it's quite the investment, but it's a beast of a machine. It also makes that cool noise when you turn it on. The braise, cast iron pot, like so. Make sure it's wide enough. Now first I'm just gonna put some canola oil in the pot, and then followed by our thick short ribs. Now the goal here is just to get some deep dark color on these. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so these are the color that I want. You can get them a little darker if you want, but just know the more color, the better that sauce is gonna be. So I'm just gonna set these aside for now. And we'll just come right over here real quick. Now, back over to the pot. Garlic cloves. Okay, I've got some color on my onion. I've got these portobello mushroom stalks. I'm gonna toss these right now into there and get some more color going on this. Now I'm just gonna deglaze it with some plum wine. I just want to reduce all the liquid that's in there to basically nothing. The definition for that is called au sec, so just reduce it au sec. Okay, now the short ribs are gonna braise for just a couple of hours until they're fork tender and they pull apart from the bone. So we don't need the polyscience anymore. Now next up is going to be the shroom powder. So you know, typically in a Wellington, they do mushroom duxelle, right? So I'm just gonna do this to get that really nice meaty mushroom flavor. Portobellos are really meaty and hearty like that. So I'm gonna dehydrate these. And then this is gonna go into my brioche dough. I'm also not doing a puff pastry, I'm doing a brioche dough for this, so I'll show you how to do that as well in this video. Also, just a reminder, if you're liking this video, make sure to go like the video down below and subscribe. Don't forget to do that, helps me out a lot. So, if you wanna see the full video on how to make this shroom dust, I have a video on my TikTok right now, go check it out. Link will be down below as well. Okay, I'm just making the brioche. As you can see, I use a scale, put the bowl on the scale. Way easier to do. Okay, so this has been mixing for like 10 minutes. You wanna make sure to mix this without the butter. So after 10 minutes, it'll start to sort of stick to itself and it'll become a little bit shiny, as you can see, like this. So once it becomes like that, take your butter out. I like to put mine in the freezer and flatten it out as thin as possible and add it cold. Put it in a container, close it up or cover it with plastic. Leave this out at room temperature. Leave this out at room temperature for about 2 hours. After that, toss it in the fridge, leave it in there overnight. Reduce this until it looks like this. These have to be my absolute favorite mushrooms, my takis. So this is what I'm gonna use for the filling as well. My takis, and I have some kimchi here because I just did a kimchi video. If you would have seen it on my TikTok, if you're following TikTok, you would have seen this. Then in here, I've got my sauce. As you can see, all the fat's gone to the top. I could just go ahead and take the fat off. And then over here, I've got the short ribs all cooled, ready to be trimmed. This is just some sour garlic salt that I made in a past video. I think it'll add a nice brightness to it. Okay, once we've got good color on these shrooms, just like this, I'm gonna add my kimchi. So just brush the whole thing with egg wash so it sticks. Then I'm just gonna do a dusting of the mushroom powder. Watch my TikTok video if you wanna see how to make your own mushroom powder, or you could just buy dried mushrooms at the store. Just gonna spoon on some of my kimchi mushroom where I'm gonna put that shorty. Set that right on top of that. Then again to seal. There you go. I should have some sort of candy that's been unwrapped kind of looking thing. Take my rolling pin and then just press on both sides. Now if you have a piece that's kind of weird like this, where it's kind of flared, I learned this from Thomas Keller's video, you could just sort of cut off the side excess so you could straighten it out. Now I've got my other squares of brioche here. These are gonna be for my lattice cut. So So if you don't have one of these, it's totally fine. You can do without. It's just a nice touch. There's my lattice cut ready to go on top. Now I'm just gonna brush this whole thing with egg wash before putting on the lattice. Just gently lay that over just like that. Just cut off the excess. And there we go, we've got a little mini Wellington. The shortest Wellington ever, probably, maybe. So I've got these all on a rack and a Silpat, and I just want to toss them in the fridge for about 10 minutes before I put them into the oven. So just find a good space in your fridge, let them go for 10 minutes or so. All right, now we're just gonna take these out. Give these one last egg wash before they go into the oven. You can also leave the cream out of the egg wash if you don't do dairy. I mean, also mind you, there's butter in the dough, but yeah, if you want to leave the cream out, you can. The cream actually just makes it come out a lot darker and richer. I have this going at 385. I'm gonna check it around 8 minutes or so. I let these go for about 20 minutes. I started at 400, then I lowered the temperature to 375 Fahrenheit until we got this nice golden, deep, rich color. Of course, finish it off with some like gold flaky salt all over that. Check out this dish right here. You know, honestly, it came out better than I thought. Brioche is not a normal dough to use for a Wellington. Thank you so much to Thomas Keller for inspiring me to do this, because I saw him make a Wellington with brioche and I thought, why don't I do it? My taki mushroom on there. Yeah, that's solid. That's really good. Okay. Damn. If you make this, make sure to tag me on your Instagram story so I can repost it. I love doing that. Hit the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.